Welcome to Unwrapping the Gift of Grief, where the transformative power of healing is explored. Meet Crystal, your host, a grief coach, advocate, and author. She will guide you through the journey of grief, sharing stories and insights that will inspire resilience and wisdom. Get ready to discover the hidden treasures within life's toughest moments as she takes you on a journey towards understanding and healing. Thank you for tuning into Unwrapping the Gift of Grief. Let's begin to unwrap.
Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. I'm Crystal, your host of Unwrapping the Gift of Grief. We're back. And tonight on Unwrapping the Gift of Grief, we're diving into a story about grief, resilience, and understanding. I want to be upfront with y'all, first of all, before we even start. I don't know too much about this subject. I don't know anything about AIDS, HIV, and before I met my guest today, I didn't even know anyone who was living with HIV and who was facing this journey. So, just like you, I'm here to learn today as well. And I hope this conversation can be an eye opening experience for you and I both. So, as for that, again, welcome to Unwrapping the Gift of Grief. I have my guest with me today, Chatrivia. I want to get her name correctly, and I'm going to have her pronounce it for you all when she get on here. And then we have her best friend, Unique, coming up right now, y'all. So welcome, Unique and Chantrivia. Am I saying
Hey
this right?
y'all. No,
Okay, now tell
no.
me how to say it.
Shit trivia. Shit trivia.
Chatrivia.
Yeah.
Chatrivia. See, y'all, see? Even I got to be taught. So, hey, y'all, welcome to Unwrapping the Gift of Grief.
Hey y'all.
Hey,
Hey,
Unique.
hey everybody, how y'all doing?
So, y'all, like I said, I don't know about this subject. And to trivia, did I say it right?
Yes.
All right, now, come on, Crystal. She's going to take us on her journey, and we're going to talk about the sisterhood, the friendships, the stigma that comes along with it, her journey, her grief journey, and just how she navigates life living with HIV. And I also believe that Shatrivia is a advocate for HIV. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So we always kick off unwrapping the gift of grief with a icebreaker. So I'm not gonna make y'all sing. I normally make people
Okay,
sing,
thank
but
God.
that's awful.
Thank God.
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Before we do that, did y'all share to y'all Facebook pages? Because we are live on Facebook and YouTube. So both of y'all share to y'all Facebook pages so the people can hear y'all story.
Yes.
All right now. Okay, icebreaker question. I'm gonna start with Unique first.
Uh-oh.
What is hello? What is something you've recently learned about yourself that surprised you? Now, this thing could be big, small, or something that made you go, wow, I didn't really know that about me. Go ahead. It's your froze?
It looked like it was strolling.
Okay. Well, we gonna go with you.
Oh, same question?
Yes, ma'am. Same question.
Um, Something I learned about myself that shocked me. I guess that I still was hurting from things in my childhood.
Mm.
I learned that a few months ago, maybe at the beginning of the year. But it just lingered on all through the year. I learned that I wasn't far from done healing. way before HIV came. you know.
Really,
So I learned that it really shocked. It was really like a shocker.
really. Isn't it amazing that as adults that we get triggered by things from our childhood and they have manifested and we be like, oh, what is that? Where did that come from?
Yeah.
That is so amazing to me. I think for me, something that I've realized, like, wow, I think I like being alone.
Oh wow.
I think for years I think I believe I needed a person, and I'm a relationship girl. But I really like being alone. I don't like answering to nobody. I don't like being responsible for nobody else. I don't like coming home to nobody. I just like being in crystal world. And it is
Okay.
so much peace there. It is so much peace there. So that had me like, oh, okay. I already knew I didn't like people, but now I see it goes together. I was trying to wait for Unique to come back in
Oh
here. Is
God, it's
this her
cold.
coming back in? Let's see.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. You came right in on your turn to come on and answer this question because we done already answered our question.
Oh, can y'all do that again?
Oh no, I'm gonna no ma'am, no ma'am, but I will read it for you again. What is something that you recently learned about yourself that surprised you?
oh, I learned that in beating myself up, not being kind to myself, that I'm actually farther along than a lot of people considering what I've been through. So yeah, did
Explain
you get
that.
that?
Explain that. I need you to go ahead and explain that a little bit deeper. She stuck again.
Yeah, she froze this time.
Yeah. Listen. All
She had
right.
something very powerful to say if it froze like that.
It did. It did. I don't know why the devil messing with her. Me and the devil had a tussle. She better go on. Come on. So we'll come back to her. Chatrivia, I hope I'm saying it right.
You got it.
All
You got
right.
it.
See, I'm on it now. I'm on it now. So we're gonna go ahead and we're going to start with first question for you and just kind of walk us into your journey. I'd love for you to begin to tell your story. And I get it. It's not something that's easy to share because it is so personal. But I do believe because I watch you on Facebook, I follow you, and I see the work that you're doing, and I see your passion for it, and I believe it's because you're living it daily. So I just want you to kind of take us back to when you received your diagnosis and what was going through your mind at that time.
First thing I'm saying before I before I start is
Go
it
ahead.
really sharing my story really is not hard. It's
Okay.
really no, it's really not hard. Um what I learned every time I share my story, I unfold new things that I didn't know
Mm,
the last time I shared my story. So sharing my
okay.
story is actually fun for me because
I like that.
I learned more about the story. So I'm really not it's really not challenging at all no more because I've been here for a
I
while.
like that.
Um but to share my some of my story because I learned I got many. I have
Okay.
many of those. 20 years ago, I was diagnosed with HIV. I was pregnant. I was due to deliver like in a month. My partner he found out that he had AIDS, and I was actually at the hospital with him when they died when they gave him his results. And I was pregnant, and they told me I had to go and get tested because it was important because for the baby. But just like you said when we got started, knew of HIV, but you didn't know about HIV. So
Right.
that's why I was at. I'm like, kind of like that moment stopped. Like HIV, I mean AIDS. At that point, I'm like, AIDS and HIV is the same thing. But it's not the same thing. So I was like
Right.
kind of numb to it, looking like, whoa. And I'm like, I'm pregnant. Just like numb, just numb in a moment. And then he said, me and you against the world. I never forget that. Me and you against the
Mm.
world. I held on to that for a very long time. Yeah, you didn't even know that, right?
No, I didn't.
I'm studying, learning. I'm learning new things about the story as time progress. Sometimes we have from
Yeah,
things that hurt us,
Yes, we
so
do.
yeah.
we don't open
Hmm.
certain parts of our heart and even our mind to even share. But I called my midwife. I told her that the person I was with was diagnosed with AIDS. I need to get tested. So they brought me in. Went to my little appointment. They did my little testing and whatever. Um, I'm telling you, like, I just was numb. I just really wasn't thinking about no HIV. I wasn't really thinking about life. I really was like just here, just taking care of him, make sure the baby was okay. That was inside of me, working, just regular life. But I knew I had to go to that appointment. So back then it wasn't as fast as it is now. So 2 weeks I went in for my appointment. So how you sit in it when you go to a doctor's appointment, you register, you sit down, and when they call you, you go to the back. So when they called me to go to the back, it was like three people. It was like my midwife and three other people walking. So I'm like, oh yeah, I got it. I'm already knowing I got it at that point. When I saw people walking in the back, it was what it was, right? So I walked back there and got in the room. One other thing I don't remember, she did not tell me who those people was in the room with us. But knowing what
Mm.
I know today, she had to tell me who those people was by law. She could just tell my business in front of people, but I don't remember her telling me who those people were. She said she touched my shoulder. She said, "Chatrivia, I'm sorry, you HIV positive." So I looked down. I said, "I can't have no more kids." Because growing up, I always wanted a lot of kids. Me and my cousins,
Mm.
we used to always talk about us having kids, a lot of kids, because we had a small family. And they look kind of like funny, like can't have no kids, because that's what I wanted to know if HIV would prevent me from having kids. That was important to me. I wasn't concerned about if I was gonna die. I wasn't concerned about anything else. Like I just wanted kids. So she said, "Yeah, you can have kids." So they told me this is this person. Now, okay, now today I remember. Now she told me this is the HIV, this is the infectious disease doctor, this is the social worker, this is this person. Crazy. Today I finally realized this. I was just telling Curtis this like 2 weeks ago. I didn't remember her telling me those people who was in the room, but she told me who was gonna help me with what. She could not help me anymore because I was HIV positive. She couldn't do her midwife thing. Um, so at that point, I honestly I cannot tell y'all how I felt. I really, maybe I need to pray and ask God to uncover that for me because I do not remember how I felt. All I know is I was concerned about my baby. I wasn't concerned
Mm.
about dying was not on my mind at all. It has never been. I wasn't thinking about dying. I was diagnosed, I had just um me and my partner, we both was going to church. So I had been introduced to God. So the God in me knew I would be okay, but I just didn't know what it looked like. So they explained to me what CD4 is, what viral is. This explain all these different things. So I'm looking at them like they speak in Spanish, like, what? What is that? What do that mean? You know? So like a regular person, CD4 is between 500 and 1500. So at that point, mass was like 700. So they like that's a high number, right? So you have to take this medication while you're pregnant so that it will prevent the baby from being positive. So I'm like, okay.
Mm.
And then he said, when you have the baby, you don't have to take it no more. So I'm like, huh? That made no sense to me. But man, you at this time, I'm newly diagnosed. I'm not asking questions.
Right.
They just giving me all this information. I'm like, this don't make sense to me. So then they also told me that when I have the baby would get three tests at birth, at 3 months and at 6 months, and then that would determine, her status, right? So I'm like, I don't need I don't need medicine when I had a baby. Made no sense. But I took the medicine that they gave me. They told me that basically what HIV do is it it goes in your bloodstreams and it affects your cells. So it make a bad cell. So it continue to make
Mm.
bad cells and bad cells and bad cells, right? So I didn't have a lot in my body that was making all these bad cells. But as time progressed, with no medication, it would make more bad cells. But it take I think 9 to 10 years before you even need medication. But that
Mm.
still didn't make sense to me. Like what? What are you really talking about? So along the way, I found out different things along the way that um when you take your HIV medication, that it actually makes healthy cells. It's basically they're fighting. The
Mm.
HIV make a bad cell. The medication makes a healthy cell. It fights. So I had my baby negative. First test was negative, right? But keep in mind, I'm still newly diagnosed within months. I was in secret. Like I didn't tell my mother. I didn't tell my sister, my friends. I didn't tell nobody because he said me and him against the world. And he didn't want to share that. So for
Okay.
me, um, I wasn't I think at that time I wasn't thinking about nobody else. I wasn't thinking about my family. I wasn't thinking about my friends. I was just thinking about me, him, and that baby. So I focused all my time and energy in him and the baby. And it was never really a me. It was never like, what we do now, self care, well, it's self and nothing. It was a self everybody else. So I went through the phase of
Wow.
just taking care of everybody else. I guess what they call it pilot mode. I just was taking care of everybody else, doing everything. But along the way, I still was educating myself in secret. I would say, like,
In
let's
secret.
get
Okay.
educated about this. Let's find out about what HIV is. Let's do this. He was uninterested, but I still went. I went and got small, like I went to trainings, like three day trainings and stuff like that. But I was doing so much in secret. It just was really weird to go so long in secret and nobody know that this is really affecting me, and not
This
knowing,
is
even
what you.
knowing how to share it, not knowing how to say, oh, my baby has to take this medicine every day. Like I told my mother, I started CNA class. I think my baby was like 3 months. Started CNA class. So I told her, you had to give my baby this medicine because she had a cold when she had an infection when she was born. So you gotta make sure you get her this medicine. Lying to my mother, calling while I'm at school. You need to get her medicine, get her medicine. Going through all those different changes of the lying. Um,
Mm.
that was really complicated too. The being in secret with HIV, I think that was harder for me than being public, because public you're free, but when you in secret, it's like all the conversations you scared is gonna come out, and you
Right.
scared of. I wasn't scared of how they was gonna look at me. I was scared of the reality of them saying my name in a sentence with HIV. I wasn't scared that my people wasn't gonna love me. That wasn't the issue. It was back then that was not the issue. It was more of how I was gonna be able to receive that I am HIV positive, because it took a long time for me to be able to receive that. So I went a lot of years the same way, having more kids, living through my relationship, allowing abuse, allowing him to abuse me, allowing myself to see. It's one thing you could say somebody abused you, but you really got to think about it. You allowed yourself to be abused. He didn't really do nothing that I could have prevented a lot, but I stayed with him, because I felt like nobody else would love me because I was HIV positive. So I endured a whole lot in the relationship, not sharing. I remember seeing Tasha years and years into my diagnosis. I think she had knew I was positive, but I had didn't tell her.
Who
And
said?
when I finally did tell her, she liked her, like so. That was another
Yeah.
thing. That's another side of the story. Like, it's like I said, there's so many different stories you can tell along the way of me allowing him to abuse me and staying with him and going through all those different things. I wasn't taking care of myself. I was taking care of him and kids. Because remember, I kept having kids. All my kids are negative. All three of them are negative. But
Okay.
I worked and worked and worked. I covered up all these things I was going through and living through the relationship and not taking care of myself. But every time I told somebody I was HIV positive, it was all love. My mother, I told her I was positive during the CNA class because the baby kept crying. I couldn't take it. It was just too much for me. She crying. She don't like me. Every time I touch her, she don't want me to touch her. I'm in school. I ain't been in school in years. It's just too much going on. I told her. She was like, you all right? I said, yeah. She said, the baby all right? I said, yeah. From that day to today, my mother's dead. She never asked me anything pertaining to HIV. Never. All my mother did
Really?
was love me. Just she just loved on me. That's all. She never said nothing. She did nothing. Told my sister, all love. Never said nothing. My brother, anybody in my family, my blood got the same blood as me. I told never judge me. I never experienced stigma with my family. It's just always been love. Even people like when I worked at the hospital for so many years, I even told people at the hospital it never was nothing. I didn't experience stigma till last year. Well, three years
Let's
ago
let's
I
stop.
experienced.
Let's stop right there because I got a question about the stigma a little bit later. But I want to unpack something that you just said, right? You talked about how you did so much informing yourself in secret, um, and trying to be aware of everything, but in that you were not taking care of self. Did you feel alone during that time?
Mm-mm. Nope.
You didn't feel alone, and there was no so, and also like with you concerned about your baby. You said all you really cared about was your baby. Do you think any type of grief came along with that
Mm-mm.
in that moment?
Nope.
Wow,
Not at all.
girl, you are so strong. You are you are so strong.
Girl,
'Cause
that's God. Ain't got
me
nothing to do
per
with me.
let me tell you something. He will give you the strength to keep you
Yeah,
and carry you.
yeah.
He will. Yes, he will. Wow. So I'm gonna ask you this. What does everyday life for you look like now?
You know what? I live like everybody else. It don't look like nothing. It look regular. I'm explaining this way. For so many years I wanted to be normal. Like anybody
Okay.
that know me from years ago, I was like, I want to be normal. I'm not like y'all. I'm not like y'all. And I've I cried a lot and I used to be sad a lot. Like I worked at my sign out for so many years. And every time something happened, I was like, you don't understand. I'm not normal. Y'all normal. And I kept saying that for so many years until I figured out that I'm actually normal. Everybody else ain't normal. Because y'all doing the things that got me like this. Y'all want to be like me. So I'm actually
Right.
normal. So I live regular. I live like I don't have HIV.
Okay. Okay. Now let's talk about that stigma that you just experienced. What did that look like and what did that feel like?
Um, I still got a cold. I had a cold like 2 weeks. I'm still coughing. I'm wondering why. Like, oh, but anyway,
That's this weather, girl. This weather is crazy here.
so I was married and then I got separated. So along the way, I was okay. So I had like Facebook boyfriends, right? I went through my phase of attention seeking. So oh, y'all see all the stuff I be doing on Facebook. So this one guy come through my messenger. He saw one of my lives and he was like, "Oh, you so strong." Da 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 da. And I'm like, "Thank you, thank you." So then we just kind of like started talking, like y'all know happy, just regular talking, like how you
Right.
doing the next day, good morning, how you doing type stuff. So okay, cool. So he asked for my number, and I'm like, okay. So we get to talking. Everything was cool. It was regular. Nothing, nothing, nothing. No sideway talk. Nothing. So we just talking every day. And at this time, I just started my publishing company. I just started a nonprofit. So y'all already know I'm everywhere. I'm doing so many different
Right.
things.
Right. Right.
I can't
Right.
answer the phone every day. I can't answer the phone all the time. I answer the phone all the time now. So imagine back then. So I answered the phone for him one day. He was like, "You ain't answer the phone for me." I'm like, "I was busy. I was on Zoom." He was like, "You need to answer the phone every time I call you." But it was funny. It was cute. So kind of days progress. Okay, we go like a week. I ain't answer the phone. This he texted me and was like, "B, that's why you gonna die. You got HIV. You've
Oh,
been coughing ever since I've been talking to you. Listen, y'all. I just told y'all I've been coughing 2 weeks. This was 4 years ago. So I've been coughing 6 years. I've been coughing before pandemic happened. So what are you talking about? I'm about to die. He like you gonna die. He like you gonna die. You that's why you got HIV. You he just say all type of crazy stuff. So I'm looking at the phone. Stop. I got a real God been working on me, y'all. Like he really been working on me. Because the stuff I said to that boy, it didn't. I'm
Yeah,
like, but
I
you talk about some. I'm HIV positive, but you wanted to you want to do some stuff to be HIV positive.
right, right,
So
right.
don't
That
play with me.
part.
Don't do that. Don't do that. But it made me feel. So we texted back and forth, arguing, whatever, going back and forth. And that was all cute. That made me feel better because I was able to say, I was able to, cuss him out real good. But afterwards, it was like, dang, I just experienced stigma. After all of these years, me study said, oh, I didn't experience that. I didn't experience that.
Hmm.
But I believe that God allowed me to experience it so I could see my response to it because I stayed in a
Mm.
relationship for so many years thinking nobody would love me. So now I'm still in a relationship. I'm still married and tied to this person, but now I'm trying to date outside of that. So Satan really was
Okay.
trying to scare me and stop me right there. But I actually it was just funny to me. So I just did it. I just went live and just told all my Facebook people what happened. It made me feel better. But it made me feel better, but at the same time, it made me feel like, dang, this is the first time somebody ever said, that's why you're HIV positive. Wow. How could you really actually say that to somebody?
Wow. That is interesting. That is so interesting. So you've never had stigma like on your job or anything like that.
No, I worked at my son for 11 years. I told my CNAs, the nurses, the doctors, when somebody was newly diagnosed and they wasn't taking it well, the doctor would come and get me and I would go in and talk
Mm.
talk to them. I was an advocate in the hospital in secret. No, I
That's
was
what I
doing
was
that in
just getting
secret.
ready to say.
I like being
You
in
was
front all the
advocating
time.
even before you decided to be an
I've been an
advocate
advocate
for it.
for forever. It's just I was in secret. I was in secret doing it. I couldn't do it in my everyday life. So working at the hospital was my outlet.
That's good. I like that because you've taken your diagnosis and turned it into a purpose to help other people. And that's, believe it or not, that's really what life is about. People learn from our journeys
Yes.
and they watch us and see how you respond. But I've come to realize that the response is more important than anything else
Yes.
because
That's
that
true.
response, it can make or break you. Because had you responded differently in the beginning, you could have died of heartbreak, stress, grief, depression, but you didn't. You took it, you educated yourself, and now you're educating others. And I am so, so, so proud of you. And the strength
Thank
that you have confronting these challenges is so incredible. To me, I'm like in awe right now, just having this conversation with you. And let's see, your unique is back. So we're gonna add her back
you.
in. Unique, you ready? You
yep,
back? All
I'm
right
back.
now. And I also think that when we go through life, certain things just needs to happen, and certain things that are important. And I believe circles are important. Your village is important, and I really want to navigate over into the sisterhood that you all have because if I'm not mistaken, I believe y'all name is Unique One and Unique Two.
Yes. Yep.
Yep.
So,
And that changed depending on the situation. She's actually unique one, and I'm unique too. But depending on the circumstances, I'm unique one, and she's unique too. And we just switch back and forth. But she's actually one, and I'm two.
so how did you all come with that? Like, is that your actual name? Like, make it make sense for the people.
So
Well,
I'm
her
unique.
first name is unique. Her first name is
Yeah,
unique. My middle name is unique.
And that's
yeah.
wow. Really?
We
That's some
didn't know this.
sisterhood for you.
We known each other since what, 11 and 9 or 11 and 8, something like that. And I don't think we knew that. We didn't start embracing it, feel like, until recently after all that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna ask you a question, Unique. Um, because sometimes a lot of healing happens in isolation,
Hmm.
but when you heal and you're in sync with someone and have a great relationship with someone, it often
Hmm.
impacts the other person. So
Yes.
I'd like to hear from you, Unique, how you felt when Chatrivia told you about her diagnosis.
That's a funny story. Cause we fell out. So we fell out because I was looking on Facebook and I seen she was getting married, and I'm like, come on now, you like a little sister to me. Why I didn't know about this wedding, right? So I literally reached out to her. We was Facebook friends at the time. I reached out to her like, I all I could say that was nice was screenshot and really. And I'm trying to remember what she said at the time. She kind of blew me off. Was like, "Oh, it was only." Oh, I remember now. She said, "Well, it was only close family there, something like that, close family," because I didn't want nobody to know. She didn't quite give me the why until later when she did. It was so cute. But anyway, so so I'm like, okay. I go back to her Facebook and I'm looking through the pictures. And I'm like, wait a minute, he there. I know her before him. And I'm like having a fit, like I'm literally frustrated, pissed off, and all this other stuff. So fast forward when she finally told me, she was like, I know you mad at me. She knew me. She's like, I know you mad at me, but I couldn't say nothing. I'm like, what is you talking about? Basically, she like, I got HIV and da da da. Da. So she loads it up on me, and I'm kind of
Mm,
like, I swear, right handed guy, I was like, and I just wanted to be at the wedding. She was like, but she did break down to me because she said she didn't want people looking at her different. She didn't want, so she was under like probably like a one of those Satan attacks where the mind was saying, I feel guilty and people looking at me, they watch me, but nobody cared. And I think I kind of sealed the deal. Like, I wanted to be at your wedding. Like, I don't care about your status. Like, what that mean? I can't touch you? Like, girl, stop. Why was I not at your wedding? Like it, and I think that set like it set a precedence for our relationship because it's
okay.
always been like that.
And that's what I was getting ready. So my next question to you was going to be, did it change how you approach your friendship? But I'm guessing it did not.
It didn't, but she did teach me a lot. Like I knew it wasn't like old school days when people were saying stupid stuff like you can't touch people, you can't touch them with it, you can't drink after
Hmm.
them. I knew it wasn't that, but what I've learned from her about being undetectable and ooh, we have a long way to go. I appreciate her journey and let's get educated because it is needed out there. Because when I talk to people about it, they're like, "What? And you can die from that?" I'm like, let me tell you what I learned. And so she taught me a lot about it, but it never really impacted our relationship at all. I still was like, wow, I wasn't out at the wedding. But it worked out the way God needed it to be because I don't know if she told me at the time that it was him, but I would have probably fought him.
Girl, you're a mess. Okay,
Just
so
being honest. Just being honest.
are you still mad she wasn't at the wedding?
No,
You think she's
no,
still mad
because
she
I
trivia?
did. No, because I get it overall, regardless of who was there. Like I even know now that the people who were there were people that knew and probably just wanted her time to tell me because she was facing certain things internally or externally. But I I got over it. I'm like, okay, it wasn't personal. Get out your feelings. She said that too. She was
Right.
like, I was just gonna wait for you to I was just waiting for you because I know you'll cut a person off. I'm like, okay, I'm over it. And
Wow.
then she started another journey, but I'm gonna let you finish your questions because that was a good one when she started.
Okay. Okay. So it's clear. Talking to
Mhm.
both of you all and just following you both on Facebook and seeing how well you all support each other. It's
Yeah,
clear that you all support each other and you've been there for each other. And my
yeah.
question to you, Unique, again, how has this experience, and no, I'm going to rephrase that. What has this experience taught you about being a friend? Because sometimes we
That
get those lessons and things.
right. I
So, what
think
was
for
your
me,
lesson?
it was a confirmation that I have ride or die in me, as well as I have unconditional love for my friends. And for
Mm,
me to handle that with care. So what that means is anybody can be your friend because everybody don't deserve a ride or die. Everybody don't deserve a unconditional. And I'm not saying it that way, but your friends are sacred.
yes.
So I learned that okay, me and her when we met up again, it was so powerful. I was like, I would not replace this with something less ever again because I called her higher, she called me higher. And that's how it should have been. So it set a good example of who should and shouldn't be in my life. Where at the
Mm,
time I was giving it away freely. I was giving away that ride or die freely. I was giving away that unconditional love freely. So yeah.
that's interesting. That is interesting. My next question is for trivia. I don't know what she's doing right now. Maybe she has to take a break.
I'm coming.
But all right,
She
stay
said
right
she
there.
likes
Stay right there. Well, I'm going to pause for the calls right now, y'all, because I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to get back to it since Chatrivia is taking a little moment to herself. I'm going to say this, y'all. Tomorrow is election day.
yes.
Tomorrow, you all need to get out there and vote. I
Please.
don't care who you vote for, but I do care who you vote for. Go exercise your voice. Our elders did not go through what they went through for us to sit at home
That
and
part.
not do anything and just take what these people are trying to push on us and take
That
our
part.
powers back.
Yes. Yes.
Get out there, y'all, and vote. Vote, vote, vote. I early voted because I didn't want to be in the ruckus
Right.
on that day. Those of you that early voted, thank you so much for doing your American duty. But
Yes.
again, get out there and vote, y'all, because our freedom is on the line. Our freedom
Mm.
is on the line. And I myself personally, if I had things that was just easy for me to go and do, or I get in a situation and I can't get out of it because some man telling me that I can't handle this situation, I have a problem with that. Again, I'm not telling you who to vote for because I know who I'm voting for. But go vote, y'all.
Yeah.
Chatrivia, welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, so this is what I want. We're still talking about friendship and being a supportive friend. How has Unique helped you on your journey?
um, First thing is she accept me for who I am now. Um, Me learning who I am when we got back connected,
Hmm.
I wasn't the same person. So
No.
her accepting me for who I am. Like sometimes I don't answer the phone, you know. Sometimes I just don't. It's not that I'm acting funny. It's not something going on because we made a code. We got a code that we made. If something
Okay.
is really wrong, she know who to call. One of them kids.
Mm,
If I don't answer the phone for a amount of days, a number of days, she just gonna come over. Like we already know. So it's nothing personal. This some stuff I go through still because of HIV and how I feel that has nothing to do with nobody else. She accept me where I'm at. And that's really big for me in my new life because I have been recreating myself so many different times that it's
Amen.
important to have people in your life that grow with you and they
right.
understand you when you growing and you healing and you elevating. So that has been the number one highlight
Yeah.
for our relationship, her accepting me.
I love that. I love that. And y'all, I get it. Friendship can be a source of resilience and strength. I just want to thank both of y'all for sharing what that journey looks like from both sides. Now,
Mhm.
Chatrivia, we're getting ready to talk about something that you're really big on, and that's HIV advocacy and giving the community a little bit more insight. Um, for me, I'm a grief advocate, so I know that advocacy is very, very powerful. It's a powerful way to share your story and to inspire others. So go back to, I think you mentioned it earlier in the show. What led you into this role, and how does it help you to continue to heal daily?
So I think maybe 4 years into my diagnosis, I went to see a therapist, psychologist, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
And I used to sit on the couch all the time. You know how they be like, sit on the couch? I was in the couch. And it was a picture on a wall of some stairs going up. The stairs would go up and stop, go up and stop. I didn't know that it was the Great Wall of China to years and years later, but it was actually the Great Wall
Mm,
of China. So when I would sit and talk to her, and she was on like an intern, so she was leaving soon. So I just was look at that wall. My daughter keep texting me. I was looking at the wall, looking at the picture as we was talking, and I told her, I said, this is how my life is now. I can keep going up and then I'll stop. I'll feel better and then I'll stop and it'll get really bad and I'll be there for a while. And then I'll be okay and then I'll keep going up. But when you get to
Mm.
the top,
Deep.
it's just it's straight. It's just like you're good forever.
mm,
And I said, I want to
Right.
get to the top. I want to get there. And she said, right. She said, Trivia, you are a very intelligent person. And I'm like, yeah, yeah. Well, you don't know, but I got this thing why you like I'm dumb and I'm stupid, all that type of stuff. Because you gotta think about it, when you being abused, you learn a different behavior. So I'm still
yes.
unlearning what was programmed in me.
Right.
Yes.
But I used to call myself dumb and stupid all the time. She's like, you're so intelligent. You're so intelligent. You should write your thoughts down. So
Mhm.
I would write my thoughts down, and I would read them to her when I went back, and she was like, "You're very powerful. You have all of the answers. You don't really need me." And I'm like, yes, I do, because this was my outlet. I was working at Mount Sinai, but talking to this lady that didn't know me, it was just my way of releasing stuff I couldn't tell other people because I didn't want them to judge me. I would say stuff that I probably would not ever say to this day unless God say do it. But I hope he don't type. So when I started reading, I'm like, I want to write a book. I want to tell my story. I
Mhm.
know this can help people. So I started just writing every day, just writing, 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 writing. Like I'm gonna write a book one day, and I just kept writing. So for that was like 3 years into it. So I just kept writing for years. I kept writing. He would throw my laptop to the wall, break it. I'll start all over. So I think he did it maybe 4 times, and I just started writing on paper. Just writing on paper. I got a bunch of notebooks I would write on. So then during that process, I've been still working at the hospital. People would come to me and say, "Okay, go talk to this person." And I'm like, "This kind of like I feel like I'm like an advocate. This is really what I'm doing, right?" And they would say, "Yes." I'm like, "Don't you got to go to school for it?" They like, "Yeah, some people go to school for it, but you don't have to go for it. You know exactly how they feel. You have lived experience." So I started doing it, and then I can say, I'm gonna write a book. I'm gonna start a center for people that's HIV positive. I'm gonna do all these different things. So it started out like that. but it was really a thought. I really didn't believe that I can do it. I really didn't believe I actually could write a book. I didn't really believe that I could actually have a center because that mean I would need knowledge, right? And that's something that I didn't think I had. So I didn't think I could
Mm,
do none of that. So as time progressed, sometimes you be staying. Sometimes you be in a relationship and you be in love with what's killing you. It be killing your purpose. It be killing your destiny. It be killing
that's
your
it.
actually your life. So I
Yeah.
once I was able to break free of the relationship, I was able to see what I really was capable of and what God was trying to do. When he say, you either gonna live the life I have for you or you're gonna be a part of the wrath.
Mm,
I made the choice to
mm,
live the life God had for me. So all these doors opened up. So now I can advocate free. But I had to first go public with my HIV status to break free. So I always tell people, I opened the door to advocacy and I just walked through it.
mm,
Like I walked through it. Now I'm trying to figure out how all these rooms in here. Like, how do I get through that door? How do I get through that door? Because I'm here now. So
mm.
I just did what God wanted me to do. That's all.
That
You
part.
just said something. You just said something about breaking free from the relationship. And this is even in friendships, family relationships. Isn't it amazing how when you detach yourself from some people,
Mm,
how free you begin to live, that peace
yeah.
that comes into your life, and how your purpose begins to just explode? Put it like that.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me. Like, my freedom was attached to me letting this situation or this
Mhm.
person go.
Go.
Yeah.
And then you be hurt for a minute. You grieve that thing.
Yeah.
All the thoughts that go through your mind.
Yeah.
It's something. But then when you get to the point of the aha moment,
Mm.
you begin to say, I thank you. I thank you for taking me through that because now I realize
Yes.
what was on the other side. But I
Mm-hmm.
could not get to this if I
Yeah.
didn't go through that. And I
Yep.
wouldn't have the appreciation for this if I
Mhm.
didn't go through that. Y'all gonna make me start talking, then how y'all not
Ooh,
shut? Okay,
that
so
pulpit. That
let
pulpit.
me tell you something. When the Bible said, in all thy ways acknowledge him, baby,
Yeah.
I acknowledge you for your good and the bad
Yeah.
and the ugly. God,
Yeah.
I just thank you. Ooh, come on,
Yeah.
y'all, come on. Come on, y'all,
Mm-hmm.
come on.
I'm here with you.
I'm not gonna
Yes.
do this tonight. Okay, let's
Yeah.
get back to thank you, Chatrivia. Man, let me tell you something. You just brought that up out of me. Unique, what you gotta say?
Yeah.
Unique, you got
Oh,
something?
because full. I'm full because I'm like, that's the circle her life took. And standing on the sideline, that's a beautiful sight because when we first reunited, and let's go back further. When we fell out, the state she was in there, oh my God, I see how the purpose of God is working out in her life like crazy. So fast and quick, her head spinning. Like we do our
Mm,
goals all the time, and it's just like, oh, I see you, I see you. She be thinking I be trying to give a compliment here, but I've seen that journey. It is amazing to see it. Like I'm humbled because I see that journey and what God has done. Her esteem,
yes,
everything is changed. She is a new person. And it's not easy to adapt to that as a friend. So that was powerful that she said, every time I've evolved, she was there. That's how you know my growth too, because I have to be growing with her. Because
you
if I'm
have to
staying
definitely.
stuck, I can't be that right friend for her because I'm stuck back there. I'm stuck with her hurt and pain. So we had to evolve together. And that's how powerful our dynamic is because everybody don't evolve together. Sometimes you have to leave people behind. Either
That's
way.
true. That's
So
true.
yeah.
And those the people, the friendships that don't evolve, those hurt more than actual
Yes,
Yes.
relationships with
Yes.
a
yes.
man
Yes.
because
Even worse.
you pour
Yes.
more and you share more with your
Yes.
friend.
Yes.
There has been more
So true.
time And now that's amazing. And that's one thing I think I love about, I don't think, that's one thing that I love about y'all relationship is because Unique would tell me, like, oh, I'm gonna see Shay today. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. We're going to plan out our schedules.
Yeah.
I love everything about that.
Yeah.
I love everything about
I
that.
want to add because this is very important. You was just preaching from the pulpit, but this would not be in sync at all without God. Now, when Shay was coming to me, she had heard a different she was hearing different things. So I honor that she held on to God despite the different voices saying different things, right? I was semi-concrete, so we was leaning on each other very much so spiritually, and that's what kind of helped us evolve because it was like regardless of what, we hold on to God. That's our foundation. And without that, it's like without that foundation of God, I think we would have stayed stagnant because I saw what God was doing in my life and she saw what God was doing in her life. And we knew there was some meaning for each other in each other's lives. But it's crazy. It's business, it's personal. It's like in all realms, but we're both on a separate journey, but we're going together to help each other grow
Together.
continue.
Yes, I love that. Chatrivia. A few more questions for you. Because I promise y'all, I'm not gonna hold y'all long tonight because I want y'all to
I
get
don't
back to
care.
y'all lives.
I
And I
don't
really,
care.
really appreciate y'all tonight. Y'all are some amazing guests.
Thank you,
Um,
Beck.
what is the biggest misconception that you encountered around HIV? And what is the most important thing that you will want people to understand clearly?
First, I believe that people think because they in relationships they can get HIV.
Mm,
Um, that's like the biggest one for me. Like you hear something, oh, I've been married for 6 years. I've been married for 20 years. I'm good. No, you're not. You're not.
Right.
Not everybody. It does not apply to everybody, but it applies to some of us. Um, the one thing that I would want everybody to know that nobody's safe. That's what I want
mm,
everybody to know. And the reason
Right.
why I say this, I had stopped saying stuff like this a few years ago. I had started losing so-called friends that was in my life at the time. But I used to talk about friendly sex a lot. Um, I didn't get HIV from having a lot of sex partners. I got HIV from the person I had been with for a few years, right? So, and I knew he cheated sometimes. I got HIV, right? So I always tell people that when you, I tell women in general, when you know your partner sleep with other people and you still sleep with him without using a condom, you're setting yourself up to be at the clinic with me. I call it friendly sex. When you having friendly, this is what friendly sex is. When you when you have sex with the same person over a 10-year span, y'all ain't
Mm.
gotta talk for 2 years. But when y'all see each other
mm.
at the funeral, at the barbecue, at the stove, whatever, y'all gonna get up, y'all gonna have sex. And y'all might not see each other for the next 2 months. That's friendly
Mhm.
sex. Somebody that you've been having sex with on a regular for years and you trust this person. But that same person could be going home with somebody and sleeping with
Mhm.
somebody that's HIV positive or could be
Mhm.
taking a pill, him and his girlfriend. So I just think
She-
that we all of us should know our status. All of us.
Yeah.
And the person that you choose to lay down with, y'all should have some type of understanding about HIV prevention.
Yeah.
Y'all should go to doctor's appointments together. Y'all should go and get tested together because I'm telling y'all, nobody's safe out here. If we could come
Mm.
back and do another another podcast about people really actually get off of sleeping with people that's HIV positive. So and
Really?
have wives,
Yep.
girlfriends for years. And
She took
if I tell you I'm HIV positive and you choose to sleep with me, that's the choice that you made.
Mhm.
But then if you have a
Oh,
wife or a girlfriend, she's not choosing that. So that can mentally mess with somebody forever, that they actually been sleeping with somebody that's HIV positive, knowing they can't get it because they're undetectable, but still the mental of knowing that will bother the person. So I just feel like, me personally, everybody should know their status. Everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, I have one more question on the advocacy, right? I want to know, what would you tell a person that was newly diagnosed, or that they have loved ones that's battling HIV? That's part one of this question. And part two, what resources or advice would you recommend?
So for newly diagnosed, and if you have a family member that you think may be positive, or first thing I would tell them is to get educated about HIV, because it's one thing for the doctor to tell you, okay, HIV positive, you take this medication, and if you take this medication, and you take care of yourself, you will become undetectable. You can't give it to nobody, and all this, and you say okay. After that, you still have to get educated. You have to find you a support system within the HIV community, so that it can make you feel better. And when I say feel better, the medicine gonna make you physically better, but your mental state is gonna be really shooken up. So you're gonna need to
Hmm.
feel better by going and being around people that has experienced what you're about to experience, so that can help you. Far as the people that's the number one thing would be educate yourself. For the people that's have family or friends or whoever, it's the same thing. Educate yourself. I truly believe that if more people educate themselves about HIV, we can stop the increase of numbers. We can never. I truly believe we'll never be able to stop it, because they making too much money off of it. So why would they stop it? But the numbers can decrease if more people get educated about HIV. This is a simple fix: education, education, education. And the reason why is two things. If a person is newly diagnosed and they get educated about HIV, the education is gonna, at some point you're gonna have to educate somebody about your status. If that be your
Hmm.
kids, if that be somebody, anybody. And when it comes to educating somebody that you share your diagnosis with, you want them to understand what you're going through so that they can help you and know how to help you, right? So that's for the person that's newly diagnosed. So for the person
Okay.
that's trying to support a person that's HIV positive, you need to know everything you need to know so you can speak the right language so you won't offend them. That's the one of the biggest things. Get educated on the language to speak, what you should say and what you should not say, and learn how. Everybody love languages different. I learned this with in sexual relationships, friendships, all of this. You learn how to love on that person. Loving on them just maybe just calling them every now and then, ask them how they doing. That's just loving on them. You ain't got to have an HIV conversation. Me and Tasha don't even talk HIV. We talking about it now because the event coming up,
Mm.
but we don't talk HIV. She's educated already. What do we need to talk about it for? So it's just like educate
Right.
yourself and learn how to be there for the person. Learn what they need from you. When it comes to resources, um, I would say anybody that need resources when it pertaining to HIV, you can Google the AIDS Foundation of Chicago. You can Google Howard Brown, or you actually can reach out to me. I have a nonprofit, and I have different people that I know that's connected with different organizations that I can help people get HIV testing. I can help them get prep. I can help them do a lot of different things. People that's HIV positive, and if you're not positive, but you know somebody that's positive, it's certain organizations that can help that I can connect you with.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome,
This
honey.
has been an amazing episode. And as we
Mhm.
begin to wrap up this episode, y'all, I don't want to go, but I promised y'all I was going to get y'all in and get y'all out, because we definitely going to come back for another episode. I believe, when is World AIDS Day?
December 1st.
December the 1st. Would you be willing to come back?
Yeah.
All right, now we going y'all heard
We
it
have
here.
an
She
event
said she
coming
coming
up in
back.
December.
She said she coming back, y'all. So we gonna hold her to that. But I just want to thank y'all so much for the insight and the information that you all have given me tonight and the listeners. Because again, I didn't know anything about this. So yeah, again, thank you. Um, I want to ask Chatrivia, looking back on this journey, what is the most important thing, that one big thing that you could say you learned about yourself?
That I'm God's favorite child.
Mm,
And the reason why I
come
say
Mm,
on.
that is I think we all should feel like we God's favorite child. But
yeah.
the reason why I feel like I'm God's favorite child is because I have always had love. People have always loved on me throughout these 20 years of being positive. I have got shown so much love and support that sometimes when I'm in rooms with other people that's positive, I hate to say how much love and support I have because I don't want nobody else to
Mm,
feel no type of way about it because I haven't experienced the same things that other people have experienced as positive. But I feel like God has spared me and He has
Yeah.
protected me so that I wouldn't have to experience these things. And by me experiencing so much love and support, it it gives me that fire to step
mm,
on HIV head every day and try my best to do everything in my power to help people see me and not HIV. You can know I got it, but you ain't gonna see me when you see HIV. And that's to me,
Mm,
that's seeing the God in me. You can see the God in me. So if you say, "Oh, this girl, she HIV positive, she get up every day and she's writing these books, she's helping other people writing books, she's having these events, so I could get up today and I can go back to school, or I could get off of drugs, or I could do this, or I could do that." So I just feel like God has been with me, and because of that, that's why I am who I am today.
mm. I like all of that. I love all of that. And I think y'all know who Glorilla is.
mm.
Who?
Y'all know Glorilla, the rapper.
Uh-huh.
Glow got a song. Little sister Glow got a song with Kirk Franklin. And I think
Really?
that's one of her, yes, that's one of her favorite, that's one of her lines in this new song. I think she said, "Wake up in the morning, think I'm God's favorite child," or something like that. But y'all go listen to that
Really?
Glorilla song. I put it on my story today. Baby, Glorilla be teaching. No, ain't she love little
Okay.
Glow? So, Unique,
Hmm.
what has this friendship taught you about Chatrivia?
That she's more than a conqueror. That her favorite line is, "I have HIV, HIV doesn't have me." So I learned a lot
Mm,
about the HIV term, and not that I should not be careful, but she lets me know so adamantly that life goes on and it doesn't stop you at all, right? Because the stigma has kind of took over, but she goes around teaching about that. But it's taught me so much, like, keep going. And I think I appreciate her drive because I see her journey. At one point when she wrote books, she was like, "I got to get my words out there." And she went hard, like it was her last words. And God's like, "These ain't your last words, but you can keep thinking it is." But yeah, it's grown me a lot. Not, I still don't, the most we talk about HIV is, because she's given me great stories, is the education of it and the way the world has been in response to it for her world. Her books also, but um, what it's taught me is life keeps going on.
Yes.
She is not what she has. Like, I've never cared about it. She's always like a little sister to me anyway. So I didn't care. It taught me a lot. A whole lot. So I educate others too now based off what she's taught me. So that's one of the biggest things.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you that thank you, y'all, for so much. And y'all, we have covered so much today. We've unpacked so much today. Y'all, I didn't think I was gonna be preaching today either, because that people normally never see that side of me. But these two have pushed it on up out of me, baby, because I was about to start running across this room. But I just want to thank them for being on Unwrapping the Gift of Grief. And it takes courage, y'all. It takes
Yeah.
courage to be able to speak up
Yeah.
about a thing like this, being open, and especially with your good girlfriend by your side, your sister. It's
Yeah.
the power of a true friendship. I just want to thank you all. And, when we're facing life's challenges, it's so important to remember that healing doesn't happen in one big leap. It's a journey that unfolds over time.
Mhm.
Often we heal a little bit easier when there's somebody to walk with us on this journey. So
Yeah.
I applaud both of you ladies in your friendship, in your journey. Thank you so much. We're going to have some final words of wisdom.
Mhm.
And then I want each one of you to leave your social media handles
Mhm.
and what you're currently working on. Because I know, Unique, you have Similes of Me.
Uh-huh.
And Chatrivia, you're getting ready for a big event, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Mhm.
So Chatrivia, you go first. No, Unique, you go first. Then we're going to end with Chatrivia. And then I'm going to
Okay.
walk us out.
Okay. So my Facebook page is Uniquely Gifted. Currently, I and Shay are working on her event in December, and I am hosting it. So, and my Instagram is Unique Rap 2, and my YouTube is The Baby Landlord. When I talk about real estate, raw and uncut, start to finish or start to going, and you can catch us together on her page. I have my book. My first book is called "He Was Your Dad, He Was My Father." And then the second one is Similes of Me, and I've been featured in a book called Unbroken, talking about healing through and what has impacted our life through healing, what the journey we've learned. So I'm featured on 3 books thanks to Chatrivia, and I'll let her continue.
Okay.
Well, okay. So it's so funny. I still get nervous and shy on stuff. We already been in the hour. Why am I doing this? Why? Why do I
Yes.
feel this way? I don't know. Okay, y'all. So my name is Chatrivia Kennedy here on Facebook. So my Instagram, my TikTok, my YouTube is all Unique Presents. My publishing page is Unique Presents as well. So I have an event coming up December the 7th. This is my baby, y'all. When I say baby, this is my baby. I went public with my HIV status 5 years ago. So every year for Real AZ, I have an event um, where I pick a topic and I just fly.
Mhm.
Tasha hosted the first event, and after that, Curtis has been hosting the events after. So this year we are highlighting zero different relationships. That's one person positive and one person is not. I've never talked about relationships, love, not pertaining to me anyway. But by me finding
Mhm.
love, I figured that this would be a good way of highlighting and showing people that's
Mm,
positive or not positive that it's okay to date somebody that's HIV positive. It's okay to fall in love with somebody that's positive. So the event is going to be December the 7th. So if you was in the Chicago area, you definitely need to get at me or Tasha,
Yeah.
or Crystal, because I'm gonna send her the information too, to come
all
to the
right.
event. So I'm working on a lot of stuff for next year. I'm having my first publishing vendor event. All the authors that I have published, I'm having an event, a book event for them. I'm doing, hold on, I'm doing the youth event for the kids, HIV awareness. I'm doing Women and Girls HIV Awareness Day. What else? Those are the next big things I have coming up. All of them is towards HIV awareness, but except for the publishing event. That's
Okay.
pretty much it,
And
y'all.
You have any final words of wisdom before I close us out? To
Words of
trivia.
wisdom. Um, yes, I actually do. Today is the first day of the rest of your life, and it's okay to begin again. What
I
that
love
looks like. A lot of times we stop stuff, we give up. We sometimes won't even give up. We just stop. We don't feel like it no more for whatever reason. But it's okay to start back. It's okay to start back fresh with a new mindset, actually a new plan, a new goal, and a new focus. It is okay to begin again. Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Again, I appreciate the both of you for coming on here. And whether you're facing a challenge like HIV or something entirely different, or just simply grieving, I just want you to know that healing is possible. I always close my show like this. Healing is possible. And I always tell you, but you have to be willing to do the work. It will not happen until you do the work. And I want you to know that you're never alone. I want you to lean on your community, stay connected to those who lift you up, and don't hesitate to ask for help if you need it, because there are people out here that's willing to help you. And on this subject tonight, get educated, drop the stigmas, love on someone who's just been diagnosed, love on the people on your in your family that's dealing with this, because you never know what mental state they're in. So again, thank you to Trivia and Unique for
You're
sharing your
welcome.
wisdom, being so vulnerable, and the strength that you've had to be here with me today. I know, Chatrivia, you see it. What did you say earlier? It don't bother me. I can talk about it, but that's still, baby, you strong. You
Yeah.
are strong. You're strong. And your story is so powerful. And I know it will resonate with so many people. I know it will. And again, I just want to thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm Crystal, your host for Unwrapping the Gift of Grief. You can catch me on Facebook at Crystal Rucker. You can catch me on Instagram, The Countess, or YouTube, Countess D. Pearl. Everything is going to be put on both all of my pages, the lives, my stories. I'm going to continue to share more stories. And I'm back to promoting my two journals, Guided Grief Journal for the Brown Girl. That's, I know the title may sound, but anybody can get the book. And also Embracing an Empty Chair. That's the 31-day devotional dealing with grief. You can pick those up on YouTube, or you can message me and I will get them to you directly. Thank you so much. And as I always say before I close, if there was no grief, there'll be no love. If there was no love, there'll be no grief. Thank you for tuning in to Unwrapping the Gift of Grief, and have a good night. Until next
You
time.
too.
Thank you for joining our conversation tonight and for diving deep into the journey with Crystal. Remember, healing, it is a journey, and you're not alone. So, if these talks resonate with you, share, subscribe, and connect on all platforms. Together, we can unwrap the gift of grief. Until next time, Crystal is here for you. Find this podcast on all streaming platforms. Don't forget, this podcast is brought to you by Countess D. Pearl LLC Productions.